This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. Attorney Damian Gomez says the country's criminal justice system is polluted. This was his observation as he was one of lead counsel in two notorious bribery trials, one of former PLP Senator Frank Smith and the other former Cabinet Minister Shane Gibson. Mr. Gomez, in appearing as a guest on JCN's Jones and Company this past Sunday, said he noticed much pollution during the two trials. And while he acknowledges that the justice system does work, he says it must function in the best possible manner.
It's political mischief. It is not the upholding of the law of the Bahamas. So you can't talk about honesty in public life and the integrity of the public system when you are prepared to attack the justice system in the most vicious and vile way that it has been attacked in these processes. They have literally promoted perjury. They've paid for it, and they've turned a blind eye away from people who ought to be punished for promoting it.
During the bribery trial of Shane Gibson, Assistant Superintendent of Police Deborah Thompson admitted that she was wrong in hindsight for collecting statements in a joint meeting with both key witnesses Jonathan Ash and Deborah Bastian and their attorneys. As for Smith's trial, Minister of National Security Marvin Deems and Minister of Health Dr. Dwayne Sands both testified in court concerning their communications with key witness Barbara Hanna. According to Mr. Gomez, who is also the former Minister of State for Legal Affairs, government ministers should not be involved in investigations. Political interference, Mr. Gomez called it, but he says he expects the government to do nothing about it.
So you are saying then that the criminal justice system works?
It works, but it must work more efficiently. And if it is polluted by corrupt evidence that is deliberately presented to deceive the court, that is something that needs to be rooted out to ensure that it remains efficient.
And you've seen some pollution?
I've seen a lot in these two cases. And I've seen the hand of the police in each case. And in their evidence, they're implicating the Attorney General's office.
Last month, Mr. Gibson was acquitted of 15 bribery charges after a Supreme Court jury found him not guilty. In February, former Public Hospitals Authority Chairman Frank Smith was too acquitted of bribery and extortion charges in a magistrate's court, a decision upheld by the Court of Appeal. Bahamian adults no longer have to stand in line for passport renewals. The launch of the first phase of online e-passports today makes it possible for adults to log in online for faster services, says Minister of National Security Marvin Deems, who spoke on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs Darren Henfield. According to Mr. Deems, the online e-passport was launched after a successful piloted program, which was conducted between May and September of this year. He added that this is one way in which the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is modernizing its services to the public. Mr. Deems says the second phase of the online services for minor applicants will be launched soon. He says that a help desk is available to assist applicants with technical issues in regards to the online passport renewal. Well, while the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is praising the modernization of the passport office, the acting chief passport officer is calling for a new building. At the launch of the e-passport online renewal portal yesterday, Ms. Siobhan Dean requested a better working environment to the applause of the audience, most of whom were employees of the passport office.
Before I take my seat, please indulge me for a moment as I make a plea, as it is not often that at the passport office that we have the Honorable Minister and the Financial Secretary present all at once. Honorable Minister Acting and Mr. Financial Secretary, as you know, this state-of-the-art technology is second to none in this region. I ask that you observe our work environment and take note that we have outgrown this facility and the state-of-the-art system is out of place in this building.
Space has long been an outstanding issue at the passport office. Earlier this year, Minister of Foreign Affairs Darren Henfield lamented the small space of the office, which he says was limited for peak periods of the year. Our final stories are up next.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.